Hello, WWE Universe. Welcome to Faces and Heels, your podcast for professional wrestling here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and we have just experienced night one of WrestleMania XL, extra large, WrestleMania Saturday, whatever the title is. I don't know. But regardless, we got 7 matches on this Saturday, night one, and some really good ones. Really good ones. Some didn't really hit the mark tonight, but for the most part, I enjoyed the show tonight. Every match had its moment. Even with the matches that I weren't super happy with, they had their moments. One didn't. One was a complete underwhelming experience, and I was really upset about that. It kind of took some of the fire away from WrestleMania, and it was dead smack in the middle of tonight's show. But overall, I enjoyed the show. 7 matches tonight. We had Rhea Ripley defending her women's world championship against Becky Lynch. We had the 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE tag team titles. We also had a tag match between Rey Mysterio and Andrade against Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. We had a singles match between the Usos, Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso. We had a 6-woman tag team match with Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control. We had an Intercontinental Championship match with Gunther defending his championship against Sami Zayn. And to round out the night, the main event of WrestleMania Saturday, the Bloodline. The Rock and Roman Reigns taking on Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. Let's start off the way the night started off with our opening match, and it was for the Women's World Championship, where the champion Rhea Ripley defended against Becky Lynch. This was a good start. This was probably the best start, and it was one of the better matches of the night. I really enjoyed this match. It started off kind of slow. It started off at a pace where I was like, okay, Becky can't keep up with Rhea. You know, it just seems like she is completely outmatched here. But as the match went on, we got the storytelling of it. We got the brutality of it. We got the underdog story of it, and everything came together. Becky Lynch showed why she is the man. Rhea Ripley showed why she is the most dominant force in pro wrestling. I don't care, women, men, whatever. She is the most dominant, and she comes out on top in this match, retaining her women's world championship. In this match, we saw some really good spots, really brutal spots, and Becky Lynch took it, man. She was she was taking it, and at the same time, Becky Lynch was dishing it out as well to Rhea Ripley, and she was taking it. I mean, we got near falls, we got top rope spots, near falls from finishers, typical WrestleMania lore. You know, this is stuff that WrestleMania is built on. The kicking out of somebody's finisher. Now, it's been done so much now throughout the WWE and other promotions as well. It doesn't have that same pop when it happens at WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is normally where that happens. You'll see an opponent kick out of a finisher. That only happened at WrestleMania, but it happens so often. You'll see it on Raw, SmackDown now, and it's like, finishers aren't protected like they used to be when I was growing up watching. But that's besides the point. Kicking out of one finisher is one thing, but kicking out of 3 of them, now that's special. And we got a lot of that in this match. Very exciting. Kept you on your heels at certain points in the match. You didn't know who was going to win. You really thought Becky would win. And I was excited by that, even though I'm a huge Rhea Ripley fan. At the end, I think we got the correct outcome here. Rhea Ripley continues her dominance and holds on to her women's world championship. Out of 5 stars, and all matches will be rated on a 5-star rating system, this match between Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch gets 3.5 stars. I think it was a perfect way to kick off the evening, kick off this WrestleMania weekend. Very, very good match. We move on. Our next match of the evening was for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship, and it was a 6-pack tag team ladder match. Full disclosure, I went into this not excited. I was not excited for this match. Oh, if you listen to the prediction show, I called the Rhea Ripley win on that show. I just want to toot my own horn. But unfortunately, it didn't work for this match. my prediction was completely wrong in this match. We had a match between the champions, the undisputed tag team champions, the Judgment Day, which consists of Finn Balor and Damian Priest. You had A-Town Down Under with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. You also had Awesome Truth. You had DIY, New Day, New Catch Republic in this match. This was kind of a messy match. It was messy. I think it was too many tag teams involved in this match. For a ladder match, it's not enough room. It's not enough room for a 6-pack tag team ladder match. Now, this is just my opinion. I go back to the TLC match, or matches, when you had Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys go at it in the tag team division in ladder matches. I felt early on like, man, 3 teams in a ladder match, that's too much. But they perfected it. And those individuals are awesome, man. Those are Hall of Famers. At least you have a couple of Hall of Famers in the mix there. And so they knew how to work it. And it was perfect. And that's 3 teams. And they did what they could with the 3 teams. But it was still a little congested there, in the ring. Now you had 3 more teams with that, 6 teams. And it's not a typical tag team where it's 3 people in the ring at one time. It's all 6. And you have to find something to do with all 6 members, or 12 in this case. There's 12 people in the ring. So you can only have maybe 3 people and 3 ladders in the ring at one time. So now you have the other people on the outside of the ring working the floor that you don't see. And it's like, what, it's too much going on. It's way too much going on. I just don't agree with the match. Not so much the players here. Because as I said in the prediction show, I like everybody involved in this match. And for the most part, everybody involved in this match did a good job. I was excited to see them. It just was way too much going on here. Way too much. But that being said, I had predicted DIY to come out on top and get the belt. I have never been so wrong in my life. Because not only did they not win, they split the belt. And I was so happy when they did it out. And it didn't dawn on me until A-Town Down Under grabbed the SmackDown championships. But the Raw championships were still hanging. And it didn't dawn on me. I'm like, okay, so they won both. It didn't hit me. And when either was not Paul, but Pat McAfee or Michael Cole, one of them said it, like, okay, well, they still got the other belts. They still got to get the other ones. And I was like, oh, wait, they're splitting the belts. Great. I was so happy with that. I don't know why that made me feel so good. And that's That's a genius way to do it. And if that's the reasoning why we got 6 different teams here, I'm all for it. And so I get it. It was just too much going on. There was way too much going on. But yes, A-Town Down Under, which is Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, are your SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Brilliant. That still left the Raw Tag Team Championships. That's when the match started getting interesting after that. And we got some spots with R-Truth, with the Judgment Day. It looked like it was a botch there with Damian Priest being on the ladder, and it was broke, clearly broke. And the ref was trying to stop Damian Priest from climbing the ladder, and he was like, "No, I'm going up the ladder." He yanked his foot away from the ref because the ref was trying to stop him. Like, look, if you go up there, you probably gonna kill yourself. But he still did it, and they actually had some spots on that ladder, and you're looking at this ladder about to just crumble under the weight of these two people. I think it was Damian Priest and The Miz, was it? Ah, man, I don't know why I'm blanking on it. But anyways, uh, the move didn't work because of the ladder. So they got off the ladder, and then we get the money spot in this match when R-Truth took out Damian Priest. And this has been long form storytelling now. This has been going on for a while, and it finally culminates here. And I don't know why I was so moved by that. I was so happy to see R-Truth get his moment, to get his WrestleMania moment, not only taking out Damian Priest, but climbing the ladder and grabbing the Raw Tag Team Championships, and him and The Miz are now the Raw Tag Team Champions. I was so happy about that. And it saved the match. It really saved the match because I really, at points, were not super interested in this match, but they had good spots in it. You know, just to touch in on what I was saying earlier, even with the matches that I wasn't super excited about, they had spots in it that were exciting. And this was clearly one of them. They had some really good spots in here. DIY taking out New Catch Republic through tables and off of ladders, and you see JD Madonna get just slung off of a ladder through tables. It was awesome. You know, you had some really, really good spots. The 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, which is now disputed because they are split up now, where A-Town Down Under becomes the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and the Awesome Truth becomes the Raw Tag Team Champions. Gets 3 stars. Average. It was pretty average, but I love the spots here. I love that R-Truth got his moment, and you can clearly see he was emotional on top of that ladder, because you really got to think back. R-Truth never had that moment, you know, capturing a actual championship, not the 24/7, but an actual championship, and at WrestleMania nonetheless. Very moving, very deserved, well deserved. And man, can't wait to see what's next with those two young men. Moving over to our third match of WrestleMania Saturday, it was a tag team match with Rey Mysterio and Andrade taking on Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. This was the most random. This match has the most random moment of the night. It was very just out of the blue type of a interference in this match. I like everybody here. Everybody here can work. Everybody here can work. Dirty Dom is still getting nuclear heat, which is beautiful. Andrade, welcome back to WWE. He looks great. Rey Mysterio, um, Rey Mysterio, he's showing his age, and it's painful to watch. Painful to watch. He still got it, but he don't have a lot of it, if that makes any sense. I still like watching him work in the ring. He can put on some close to 5-star matches, but it's hard for him, and you can tell, he's getting up there. Rey Mysterio been around a while, and as of late, he has been getting injured a lot. His body can't take as much as he did as a young man. And I'm saying that, but I'm raising my hand. Me too. I stumped my toe, and I'm probably in a foot cast for about 6 months. My body just isn't the same way when I was younger. And you got to understand, Rey Mysterio, smaller wrestler, body has been through so much abuse, and he does so much, especially high flying and everything. He's going to take a couple of steps back, but he still performs, and he did a great job here. Andrade really carried most of the weight for his side, and so that helped. Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom also did a good job. We saw a really cool spot when was it Cruz de la Torre who got catapulted off the rope. I can't remember which one, but that was a cool spot. The double dive off of the ropes where Andrade had Rey Mysterio on his shoulders, and they both dove and hit the dive perfectly onto Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. That was beautiful. That was the best spot of the match. That was great. We saw Zelina Vega botch a dive. God bless her. But she tried. I give her that. She tried. But the randomness came when you saw two big white men with luchador masks hop the barricade and help out Rey Mysterio and Andrade. And immediately I said, okay, that got to be Jason Kelsey. I mean, we're in Philadelphia. We're in Philadelphia. Jason Kelsey was going to be involved. Now, the other guy, I was like, is it going to be Travis? I doubt if it's Travis. He looked a little bigger. And so I'm like, man, who is that? It must be somebody on the Philadelphia Eagles team. And sure enough, they helped Rey and Andrade win. They take off their masks, and of course, it was Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson, his teammate on the Eagles. It was so random, man. it was just random to have them come out and help. I mean, it was cool. I guess if you was in Philly, it's cool, but it just came out of nowhere, out of nowhere. But nonetheless, Rey Mysterio and Andrade come out victorious in this tag team match, which gets 2.5 stars. It was a filler. That's the way I felt about that. It was a complete filler match for WrestleMania. It didn't feel like a WrestleMania match. It felt like just a regular run-of-the-mill premium live event match, and whatever. But it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst match of the night. That brings me to match 4, the singles match between the twins, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, a match that has been in the making for, I guess you could say, since birth, really. And this was this is a match that was outdone by the promo leading to the match. That video package to hype you up for the match was chef's kiss. That got me so hyped. It was beautifully produced, beautifully done. I'm like, man, this match is going to get off. These two are going to get into it. I'm expecting to see Rikishi come down. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting some fireworks in this match, and it was underwhelming. And that's putting it kindly. I was very, very disappointed with this match. it just wasn't put together right. And it's weird because these are brothers, not just brothers, but twins. They've been dancing since they was in the womb, so I don't understand how there was no chemistry at all in the ring. They had no chemistry. There was no nothing was choreographed. Everything they just went on the fly. It that match looked like they were told in the back to go out there and just do something. They didn't know they were going to be on the show, and they were like, "Look, y'all two go out there and put a 11-minute match on," and that's what it looked like. It was nothing of any storytelling, any excitement. Well, it was one element. It was one point in the match where Jimmy kind of suckered Jay in, and it was just silly. Like, you fell for that? My wife, who hasn't watched WrestleMania with me for it's been years, she watched it with me tonight, and she was like, "He really gonna fall for that?" And it was like so obvious, and it was silly, but that was the only storytelling in the match, and it just didn't work. It did not fire on no cylinder, let alone all. It was such a wet fart of a match, and it's painful to see that because I love the Usos as a tag team. They're one of the best tag teams in history. But singles, nah, it ain't working. Their singles run ain't working, and I thought they would bring the best out of each other, and unfortunately, that did not happen tonight. Jay Uso defeats his brother Jimmy Uso in this singles match, and out of 5 stars, I have to give it 1 3/4 stars. Yeah. Yeah, it was that bad for me. I just, oh man, it was the worst match of the night, and I thought it was gonna be one of the best. I guess it's my fault. I overhyped it, so I gotta put the onus on me on that one. Moving on to match number 5 of the night, and this once again I was super hyped for this, and I was scared when this match started because I was burnt out from that Uso match. And I was like, I really didn't want to watch nothing. I was that mad. I was that upset about the Uso match. But I was excited to see this match, and I was hoping for a better outcome overall. And for the most part, I did have it. This was the 6-woman tag team match between Damage Control and Bianca Belair, or versus Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi. Awesome. It wasn't the greatest match of all time by no stretch of the imagination, but I loved the show. I loved the showcase. I loved the black girl magic here. Them coming out, them being Belair, Cargill, and Naomi coming out as ex-women as opposed to ex-men. But ex-women, you have Jade Cargill as Storm. Bianca Belair was more Cyclops. And I don't know what Naomi was. Naomi was doing her own thing, but they were all color coordinated. But it was cool. Maybe Colossus, maybe. But either way, I'm nerding out on y'all. But I thought that was cool. I love Asuka when she was in NXT, when she was dominant Asuka, undefeated Asuka, couldn't stop her. Now this silly heel Asuka that we getting, it's not working for me. Her dancing around and all this, it just ain't working for me. I'm so bored with it. And it kind of takes something out of the match for me. Every time her and Kairi Sane link up, it takes something out of the match. Dakota Kai, she botched so much stuff. And I ain't talking moves, just being where she's supposed to be. And I'm guessing his nerves, because you could tell when she came out, she couldn't even get to the right spot when they came out. When they were coming out down the ramp and getting into the ring and do their pose, she was in the wrong spot. She had to run back over to the other side and get in her right spot. I'm like, oh Lord, this is going to be interesting. And throughout the match, she did it again. But boy, that was tough to watch. But it was good to watch Naomi and Jade and Bianca just dominate. It was a thing of beauty. And these three women are going to just run rumshot over the women's division in WWE. This is going to be exciting to watch. Uh, they did a pretty good job of protecting Jade here. You know, she wasn't in there long, got the crowd hyped up, anticipating wanting her to get in the ring, you know, and she finally got into the ring and did her thing. It was exciting. She got the pop and she got the pin, and that was good. I liked how they did it. This was a perfect way to showcase their new talent. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi defeat Damage Control. This was the shortest match of the night. This was like 8 minutes long. It was very short, but it it was the right amount. It didn't need to go any further. It was pretty good for what it was. I give this 6-woman tag team match 3 stars. I think it was decent for what it was. You know, didn't set the world on fire, but it didn't need to. Now we move on to our Intercontinental Championship match, where the champion Gunther defends against Sami Zayn. I wasn't excited for this match either. I was looking forward to it because of Gunther and Sami Zayn. I do enjoy, but I didn't see these two being compatible in the ring. But boy, was I mistaken. Second best match of the night. Second best match of the night. Told a story. It was physical. You got the near falls. You got Gunther antagonizing Sami Zayn's wife, who was sitting on the front row. I mean, Sami fighting from behind, the underdog story. They're in Philadelphia, you know, the Rocky thing. So that all that played a part. I mean, a lot of storytelling here, and very exciting match. I really, really was just on the edge of my seat throughout this match. I was so intrigued from beginning to end. I was never bored in this match. Gunther showed how dominant he can be. Sami Zayn showed how much of a fighter he is. We didn't weaken Gunther despite his loss. He still looks like a dominant force. I mean, it was perfectly put together. I don't know who produced this match, but they did an excellent job. And Sami Zayn and Gunther, they deserve their flowers as well. Our new WWE Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn defeats Gunther at WrestleMania. Excellent match. This match, out of 5 stars, get 3.5. What a match. What a match. I mean, my God, this this had everything you could ask for in a WrestleMania match. This was WrestleMania quality match. You know, they understood the assignment. When you go into WrestleMania, you can't put on your typical match that you would have on Raw or SmackDown or any other premium live event. You have to take it to another level in WrestleMania. And Sami Zayn and Gunther did that here. They completely understood the assignment. Yes, it gets 3.5 stars out of 5. That brings us to the big daddy of WrestleMania Saturday, the biggest tag team match in WrestleMania history as they build it. The Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins, and the return of The Rock, of course, the final boss. Look, when the Sami Zayn Gunther match ended, we were like at 9 o'clock. Actually, it was before 9 o'clock, Central Time here in New Orleans. And I'm like, man, they is this match going to be like an hour and a half? His last match, because they got a lot of time to fill here. And then I thought about it. I said, I said to myself, the entrance probably going to be 15 minutes apiece for each superstar, because I mean, they're not going to come out as tag teams. They're going to come out individually, and they did. And each one milked it. Everybody milked it. Cody Rhodes milked it, but he had like the shortest one. Seth Rollins milked it. It felt like we heard his theme song twice. And The Rock with the most epic look, the most epic entrance into WrestleMania I have seen in a long time. That was epic. And Roman Reigns, it always takes him 20 minutes to walk to the ring. And so that took up a lot of time. This match itself was 44 minutes. 44 minutes. To put that in perspective, the Sami Zayn Gunther match was 15 minutes. The 6-woman tag team match was 8 minutes. The tag team match with Rey Mysterio and Andrade and Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio, that was 11 minutes. But this match was 44 minutes. And it was the best match of the night. Of course. It was the best match of the night. And it had to be 44 minutes because there was more than wrestling involved with this. There was more to this match than just grappling. It was storytelling in this epic form. This is Bloodline stuff. Bloodline is a movie. Bloodline is a soap opera. It's a television series. This was epic storytelling. You got The Rock. You got Roman Reigns. And when the match started, when they had to face off before they actually went fisticuffs, and you look at how massive and cut up and just built like Egyptian gods that The Rock and Roman Reigns are, and you look at the average looking Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Now, I'm not poo-pooing on those guys because I wish I looked like them. I wish I had the body. I would take that in a New York second, but they just look average. They look like your average guys, but they're in excellent shape. But in comparisons to these Greek gods, that is the bloodline that you can shred cheese on their abs. Man, I'm like, bro, this is not going to go well for you guys. This is going to be a slaughter, but it worked perfectly. Now it started off slow. And I'm like, man, The Rock looks slow, and I was expecting that, so I wasn't mad at that. But it started off so slow that I was kind of starting to dip. I was like, man, I'm losing some interest here. And my wife said, like, man, the crowd is pretty quiet. I'm like, yeah, it is a little quiet, but it's gonna change. Just give it a minute. Let the car warm up before you pull out the driveway. It's gonna be all right. And sure enough, once they started working on the floor, going into the crowd, it kicked out. It went from 0 to 100 real quick, and I was all in. Everybody was all in. It was so exciting. The Rock, it seemed like he got into it. Now, I want to say this, and I meant to say this, leading up into the reviews and recaps, but it was cold in the link. It was cold. They was in a football stadium. They weren't in a dome. It wasn't any roof on it. It was cold. I think the temperature was like 50 degrees and it felt like 47, 46 degrees or something like that. And so it takes a while for your body to warm up, when you're in that element. I felt bad for those people, you know. I felt bad for them in there. You looking in the audience and you see people with jackets on and sweaters on, and pro wrestlers, they out there in trunks, with no shirts. And so, and you could tell they weren't sweating. You didn't see a lot of sweat on the guys. And so I can imagine it was a struggle, to get your muscles working and firing. So you got to kind of give them a curve on that, but I think a lot of that had to do with this match too. But once they started warming up and getting juiced up, it was on, man. The spots, bruh. I take my hat. I don't tip my hat. I take my hat off for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This dude hasn't wrestled in 8 years, and he took some big spots. He went through a table and went through the table. He took a stomp from Seth Rollins. He took. Did he take the Crossroads? I know he was set up for the Crossroads. No. He almost took the Crossroads, but he was taking a lot of bumps, and I was like, man, because I really thought they were going to protect The Rock. Because let's not forget here, The Rock has a life outside of WWE. He has multiple businesses. He is a movie star. He's going to film a movie after all of this. He has so much lined up. He can't afford to get hurt, injured, disfigured even in the wrestling ring. And so he really took a chance with all this. And I thought they were going to protect him. And for the most part, they were. But at the same time, when he let loose, and he allowed Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes to let loose on him. And I was like, man, kudos to The Rock. And man, good job by him in this match. It was really, really interesting to see the crowd booing Cody Rhodes. They were booing Cody Rhodes. Now, let's not forget, they're in Philadelphia. It's Philly, people. This is the same crowd that threw bricks who threw bricks at Santa Claus. This is the same city who cheered when Michael Irvin, the football player for the Dallas Cowboys, he broke his leg on that field, on that same field that WrestleMania is taking place at. Broke his leg, ended his career. They cheered, standing ovation for him that he broke his leg. And so this is Philly, the home of ECW. It's safe to say that this is a heel town. And so it's not super surprising that they were booing Cody, but it was really loud at one point. Now, when they had their entrance and they came out, you heard a kind of a mix of boos in there. But as the match went on, those boos got louder. I was like, man, man, this is crazy. But that changed as well when the match went on and Cody started getting some offense in, some nice moves, some really nice spots, and they started cheering as well. So it kind of balanced itself out throughout the match. As we all know, a lot was on the line in this match. If Cody and Seth could win this match, Cody would face Roman Reigns one-on-one with no bloodline involved in the match. But in the event The Rock and Roman win, is bloodline rules for the main event of night 2 with Cody and Roman. And so it was a lot on the line here. Ultimately, I predicted that the bloodline will win because at the end of the day, you're only going to bring The Rock back for one night? No. No, you're not. And you're not going to have Roman go one-on-one. Roman has needed, and I say that in quotations, needed the bloodline in every defense of that title. And so there's no way that was going to change, and it won't, because the bloodline comes out victorious by defeating Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes in this tag team match, which means Sunday night main event Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship will be Bloodline rules. Anything goes. Awesome. This was an awesome match. Very, very entertaining match. Once again, WrestleMania quality match. We had the spots. We had the storytelling. We had it all. Everything was in this match. This was a well-produced match from beginning to end. And that just bursts the door open for Sunday night, where pure shenanigans are going to take place. It's going to be wild for Sunday night. I am so excited for Sunday night. This match, I was already excited for night 2, but this brought it to an entirely different level for me, because now everything's open. All bets are off. You know, who's coming, who's showing up, who's helping Roman, who's helping Cody. There's a lot on the table here, and I can't wait. The tag team match between the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns, who came out victorious over Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins, gets 3 3/4 stars. Awesome match. Great way to end WrestleMania Saturday night 1. Oh man, this was a decent match. I mean, a decent night. That's what I meant to say. This was a decent night. Out of the 7 matches, 5 of them were fire. 2 of them you could have put on SmackDown last night. But I mean, overall, it was an awesome night. I'm excited for night 2. It didn't take away the excitement for night 2. It only added to the excitement, and it did the job very well in that regard. For night 2, we have 6 matches left in WrestleMania weekend. Of course, we have the singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is an interesting element as well, because Seth Rollins looked like he got injured in that Bloodline tag team match. So, I mean, I don't know if it's kayfabe or not, but he was clenching the knee. He's been selling the knee for a few months now. He was injured for a while with that knee. Now he was healthy. Now that knee is bothering him again in that match. So will it affect him for this match when he defends his championship against Drew McIntyre? Oh man, so many implications there. Even though with Seth Rollins being 100% healthy, I think Drew McIntyre was going to go over here. But with Seth Rollins, quote unquote, injured, I know Drew McIntyre is going to go over here. And so that should be an interesting match. We also have the Pride, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, going up against the Final Testament, who are Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain in a 6-man tag team Philadelphia street fight. That one there is another one I'm not super excited for. Hopefully I get surprised. We have the singles match, which is kind of turning into a grudge match, which is sneakily turning into one of my most anticipated matches. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I'm Slick Style hyped up for that match. I want to see how that turns out. I think that's going to be a good one. And we also have a triple threat match for the WWE not Universal, but United States Championship. Logan Paul, the champion, going up against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, as well as the singles match for the WWE Women's Championship. Io Sky, the champion, will be defending against Bayley, and of course, the big daddy of them all, the main event of the entire weekend, Blood Rules for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, our tribal chief, will take on Cody Rhodes. Let's see if night 2 will live up to the hype. Would it be just as good as night 1, or even better as night 1, or worse? as night one. Who knows? I think we have the potential for this trumping night one. I feel confident with these matches. I like this match card. Let's see how it all turns out tomorrow night. But how did you feel about night one? I would like to know which one was your favorite match of the night, and are you excited for night two? Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the KB Radio Network on all social media platforms. Don't forget to subscribe to the KB Radio Network channel on YouTube and like this video if you don't mind. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to Faces and Heels, your podcast for professional wrestling here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this recap of night one of WrestleMania. Can't wait to speak to you tomorrow night when we review night two. I'll speak to you then, and until then, y'all be good. And that's the bottom line, because Kevin Reed said so.